Rich Coleman. How you doing today, sir?
Hello. I'm doing great, David. How are you how are you faring through the storm?
I think I'm doing okay. Pretty good so far. It's getting some outer rain bands from this I forget what this storm is called. Sally? Is that what it's called? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
It was
already at,
just
it's
neat.
already at S. Isn't that crazy?
I know, it's unbelievable. Yeah, we're getting
Global warming.
the waves are massive today. Hopefully I can surf later today. But I'm looking for some wind that will cooperate with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. So it's not like all closed out.
Exactly, exactly. Hey, Rich, I have
Just
a
kidding.
question
I just
for
hung out
you.
with Matt Beecham. I was seeing Matt Beecham the other day, and like he just talks like a surfer.
Yeah, well, he is a surfer. And he's
He
awesome. I love
pretends.
Matt
He
Beecham.
pretends.
He pretends to be a surfer. He pretended to be a professional surfer and TV show host. Um,
We need him
that's
on the
great.
podcast. That could just be fun.
He would be fun. Hey, I have a question for you. Why did why did the walrus go to the Tupperware party?
To check on the seals.
Yeah, he was looking for a tight seal.
Ooh, gosh, I almost had that one. I got
Mm,
ya.
he almost sealed the deal. Big three. What's going on, man? How was your weekend?
I got a tattoo over the weekend, and I didn't work. It was like it almost felt strange the amount that I didn't work during non-work hours for
By the
you.
way, I'm always
Um,
like, don't. I'm like, don't work.
you say that. Just kidding. But it felt weird because like I wasn't in this space. Like this space has become my not creative space. This
Mm,
is like my workspace. So I usually will go to a coffee shop, but I went to Lynchburg, Virginia, hung out with my old friend roommate Jeremiah, tech guru, and
mm.
dude, this might be one, two, three, and four. Number one, I got a tattoo from my friend Cody Dillo at Cody Dillo, amazing. But his wife makes kombucha, and it was like very fun to watch her make her own kombucha, and like it was great. She did like it was enough to where like I wanted to do it, but it's a lot of work. But I'd rather just make real coffee. So like that's what I was like. Maybe I'll make
Mm.
coffee and you can teach me how. I just don't know what to do. It was very exciting
There you go.
because she had different flavors, and it was spot on. She didn't only make it; she made it well.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how to make kombucha. You know, it's. I've heard it's hard as a mother. Isn't there like
Yeah, but like
isn't the thing in the
I
bottom called a
watched.
mother? I forget. Yeah. Anyways,
It's called like a scope, the scotchy, the scoochie,
I thought someone called it
scuba.
like the mother's. Whatever. That's fine. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. The mother's the head one, the leader of this fermented
Mm,
vinegar. That's how you can make it more sweet, less sweet. Is if you want it less sweet, less sugar, it's going to be more vinegar because that's how science works. But it's called the SCOBY. My mind just remembered the SCOBY. Like if depending on how it looks, depends on like what type of kombucha you should make. And then
uh-huh.
like I watched her. It was really cool to watch her make it. And the one I had was raspberry,
Mm,
and she gets like 3 gallons out of a batch, and it was just fantastic. I had it with every meal.
mm.
So if
So
those of you who don't
awesome.
drink kombucha, try it out. Number one. Number two, this one didn't have ginger in it, and it was just raspberry or strawberry, and it was just very pleasant to drink.
Mm. Well, ginger is not like required for kombucha. That's just kind of like my favorite
It's just
flavor, you
required for
know?
this podcast.
Yeah, it's just required for this podcast. Um, that's right. That's right. Well,
That's number one.
I had some really good friends in town this weekend. I had the Chessons. My friend Dave Chesson, he owns kindlepreneur.com. He's a genius. He's awesome. He was here this past weekend and I got to do some headshots of him.
Nice. Are
The
they staying in
studio's
my
kind of
bedroom?
no, they weren't. They actually were staying somewhere else. Actually, you can see kind of like the background light right here. This was lighting the white background. I actually have a How I Got the Shot episode coming out from this. So if all of our photo mentorship students, so if you're part of the photo mentorship, then you're going to get the How I Got the Shot episode from this headshot that I did in the studio. And if
Sweet.
you're not a photo mentorship student, go check out thephotomentorship.com and become a
.com.
student. Become a student because you get to see all of our How I Got the Shot episodes, all of our courses, and get all of your questions answered by photography experts like me or Rich. You know, but it
Welcome.
was
You're
fun.
welcome.
Like I haven't looked at the pictures yet. They're all just still raw and in Lightroom, um,
Unedited.
but here's like, yeah, like here's one of the pictures. Here's one of our test shots. This is Mr. Chesson right now. Rich, I know you probably can't see it, but
I
he's
can't.
holding
But I
up
was about to
a.
say he looks really good.
But yeah, this is one of my test shots. So I kind of lit the background, like in this in the tutorial, like it's very crisp, very in focus, and in that tutorial, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I lit this. So if you are a
Get
photo
lit.
mentorship member, you will be getting um, you'll be getting the How I Got the Shot episode of that coming out real soon.
Maybe
So
I'll
I'm
do
excited
my
about that.
Higgs that I need to shoot this week too. The sparkler.
Mm, yeah,
I just want to make it fun because
Dazzle.
there's been like ever since we did that, there's been students on there like doing it. I'm like, you need to show me, I need to show you how to do this.
I need
Like
to do
it's
some slow
easy.
shutter shots too, man. Like I really need to. Um, I
But
really need to do that.
number three is you can like tell me. I asked you before we went on air if I wanted to dive into this thing called espresso and making my own coffee.
Mm. You want
What
to
do I
espresso
need?
yourself?
Yeah, and I also need to hide all the purchases from my wife. That's also like a huge part of this.
Mm, mm, mm. Can't help you there.
Nah,
Um,
PayPal. That's what PayPal's for. You sell something on PayPal, your wife doesn't know about the PayPal account, and then boom, Bob's your uncle.
yeah, yeah. I guess that makes sense. Well, I've got a. Let me see if I can turn it. I've got an espresso machine behind all these light stands in the background. It's a Barista Express by Breville or Breville. I don't know how you pronounce it, or Breville. They're from Australia, I think, actually. It's awesome. Sometimes that machine's
Right,
on
right.
sale. Sometimes that machine's on sale for like $400 on Amazon. Not during COVID; it was like jacked up in price. But it has the grinder built into it, so it's pretty awesome.
That is
Because
awesome.
you can steam the milk, which is awesome. It's a single boiler, um, so you can brew the shots of espresso, and then you have to switch over the functionality to steam the milk. And it's only one boiler, so it takes about 45 seconds to convert the water that's hot at 200 degrees to steam, which is at the boiling point, which I forget what is boiling, 212 degrees, something like that. I
At
forget,
least five.
at least 5 degrees. Um, and but it's amazing. It's compressed and it's sexy looking. I think it's a really chic looking machine. You can get different colors of it. Like you can get, I think, black and red and silver. I've got the silver one. So, yeah, it's
Matches the
awesome.
Forerunner.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of other espresso machines that do not have the grinder built in. And to get a burr grinder, that's Burr burr grinder, which is like kind of this thing where it
It's
goes,
really cold. Uh-huh.
yeah, really cold grinder.
It's
That's
really
more
cool.
money.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. Brr, it's cool. Hey, what are we giving away today? We had some people that said they
We
shared this already. We haven't even. We're not giving away an espresso machine.
maybe we
Sorry.
should test out giving away nothing and seeing if people still share it. Because man, did we give away a lot of stuff? I'm gonna recap. I'm gonna go backwards from the giveaways. Are you ready?
Dude, I got it. I don't know what we're gonna give away.
Photo mentorship exclusively. We gave away a Wacom tablet, an Amazon Echo Plus. Here I have it right here. Actually, I'm just gonna keep
We
going.
gave
We
away
gave
a Canon camera last week.
a Cameron camera. We gave away a hard drive. We gave away a backpack. We gave away a lens baby. It's just a lot. We give away a lot of stuff, and I love
We
it
sure do.
because as somebody who's not allowed to buy stuff, I love just taking this thing right here and just going to town. It's my favorite thing I do.
Thank you for not showing all those credit card numbers. Um,
My social security
that's
number
Rich's
is
business card that he used on. Woo, Rich man, he spent a lot of money this week. Um, but yeah, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy a battery today for you because this is. I mean, how many
it's
times?
how
How
you stay
awesome is it that
recharged in this business.
yeah, so you have to stay charged up, you know. So whether you have a Canon camera, Nikon, Sony, whatever, we'll buy you a name brand battery for your specific camera. So yeah,
OEM.
so all you got to do is share this Facebook Live version of the podcast recording, and yeah, and so here's what we're talking about today. By the way, today we're going to be talking about pricing. Is that a fair way to? Is that a fair assessment, Richard? We're talking about pricing and packaging, and kind of the
Yeah.
sales psychology behind it a little teeny bit. If you want to, shoot weddings or portrait sessions or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, and that's like something that everybody struggles with. Like I still currently struggle with this because I'll
I
look
think
at
we all.
market value, what it's worth, like what do I want to sell, what do I want to give, what does this package include, do I charge per person for a family shoot?
How
Like
much
there's just so
time
many
does it take
variables.
you? Yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah,
like it can get
yeah.
nuts and it can get cloudy really quick. So if that's something that you struggle with or would want to learn, This is your number 30. This is the one for you. How to price
Yeah, this is
myself.
podcast episode 30. Man, 30 episodes. That's pretty legit. I feel like it's something
I'm
worth
ready for it.
celebrating. I'm all
Let's
charged
celebrate by
up.
giving away a camera body.
Camera battery? What do you say? You say body?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Battery. We'll give away a camera body, but it'll be the Canon XTI body only.
Is that like a real old one?
That's like
XTI,
old, yeah.
That was like
my first
10 years old.
My first, no, gosh, probably 15.
Oh, really?
You know what the funny thing is? If you had one of those and it was unopened in a box, it'd probably be worth like $1,000. It'd probably be worth more than it was. So that T7 behind you should just put in your closet somewhere and wait 10 years. Somebody for nostalgia's sake will want that if it's unopened.
Yeah, most likely. Well, today we're going to talk about pricing and packaging a little teeny bit. And also kind of the sales psychology and how you want to value stuff. And it's definitely an art. Pricing is an art. But there are some best practices that you can follow and some things that you can understand. And you can learn a lot from a very popular story. And you can learn a lot from even just looking at Starbucks. All right. Because a lot of times these big companies have things really figured out. Whether you like the big company or not, they know a thing or two about positioning. And there's a thing called the price anchor and decoy effect. And then there's also the just right fit thing. So, Rich, tell me a little bit about what your, and we can talk about like what we should do is we can come up with an example pricing and packaging potentially for you and talk about why it works, because you're talking about repositioning, rebranding and stuff like that. What do you think?
Yeah. And I will say before you were everybody else's photography mentor, you were mine. And I remember having a conversation with you probably 8 years ago about pricing. And you were like, up, don't go down, don't go backwards. Just because you're not booking, don't go backwards. And you actually gave me a really profound piece of wisdom that I'm going to share on the air. And I hope it's still accurate. I hope you didn't change your mind. But I was thinking about changing my pricing. And you were like, okay, why don't you charge more? Or why don't you pick a number? If you're I think I wanted to shoot 20 weddings back then, maybe 30. And you were like, okay, charge what you're charging, book your 30 weddings. And then after you hit that 30 wedding mark, start experimenting with your pricing, charge more. And you looked at me and said, brides don't know the difference of $500. They want $500 to a bride in your market. She's not even thinking about that. She either wants you or she doesn't. So I remember hitting my 30 weddings and then I booked 10 more at my new pricing. And that was my new pricing from there on out. And I had that safety net of booking my 30 weddings, and then I got to experiment with a higher pricing with my more expensive, and it worked out.
Yeah, I think that's great because you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by outpricing your market or your brand recognition. Because one of the things that you have right now is you can get burnt out on shooting too many weddings, right? Let's say if your market price, if you're market price, but you're the best in your market, or you have a great reputation like Rich does, you say yes to to too many things. Then
I would never do that.
Yes, you would. Then
I said yes to shooting a wedding next weekend with a friend because he needed help. I was like, sure.
Yeah,
What's another wedding?
The other day, you're like, hey, I just found out I'm shooting a wedding in half an hour from now, for a friend that needs me to fill in. Rich is that guy. He's awesome.
I have a savior complex.
What is it? A savior complex?
Savior. Like Spider-Man.
Savior.
Spider-Man can't stop being Spider-Man. He always has to help.
Right. Yep. There you go.
Hero complex? I don't know where it's called.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's good. So when, it's a really good problem to have is when you're booking too many things or you're such, I would say fair price in your market or market average. I don't know what you call it. That you book too many weddings and you kind of start getting burnt out. Right. And so
2012.
2012.
Oh my God. I did 56 weddings that were my own. And I probably helped 10 people do 10 other weddings. And I did beach portraits and I hated life. It was just way too many brides to manage. Shooting's fine. I think I could actually shoot 55 weddings a year. But holy Lord, it's too much. Orchestrating that many events was the issue, and that many like my brides, and editing became an issue that year because, man, in 2013 I made a vow to edit the wedding the day after. So
Hmm.
2013, 14, 15, 16, I edited the wedding the day after. Called and
Nice.
edited, finished the next day. And at 55 weddings, I slept the worst in my life. I was the unhealthiest weight wise in my life. It was bad. So you can definitely shoot too much. Even though it's hard to say no to, like when somebody wants to pay you $4,000, you're like, sure. Like, oh, why not? What else am I doing on a Tuesday in April?
Right, right, exactly. And it's one of those things where it's like, it can be a problem to have, too many bookings. It also can be a problem to not have enough bookings. But here's the thing, like if you're not charging enough, um, then people won't take you seriously. If you're $50 and the going rate is $500 for a portrait session, what's wrong with this person? You know what I mean? Like I'd be like,
Crappy client.
I don't know that
Warning, crappy
I don't know that
clients.
I can trust them. Like what's wrong with this? That's the
What's the
problem with
catch?
giving and getting a discount is your trust is not there. So you want to pay attention to the market value. Another thing is just gaining enough confidence to be able to charge market value. And that's exactly why we have the photo mentorship, which is, pulsing on your screen right here, right? The photomentorship.com is where we have where you can stream unlimited access to all of our courses and gain the confidence to shoot the exact images that you see in your head and actually create professional quality images for your future clients or your current clients, right? So getting professional headshots, getting professional, wedding photography, portraits, or getting professional, family portraits, whatever it is, like you can learn that stuff in the photo mentorship so that you can gain the confidence to know that you're a good photographer. And if you have questions, you can ask me or Rich or Crystal or Brandon or Emily specific questions and try to get feedback on how you could do these images better or how you could edit this for better, or really to become technically a professionally skilled photographer. And then there's the next thing. The next thing is trying to to start booking gigs, and we have some stuff that we're going to be developing. We're actually in the process right now of building courses on how to get paid to shoot and how to really book more clients than you can. To have that problem of having too many people,
55
you
weddings a
know.
year and not knowing when to hang out with your kids.
So the problem that Rich has right now is that Rich Rich could shoot too many things because he's in such high demand as a photographer. All right, how many of you guys would like to have that problem where you're in such high demand that you'd like to have that problem of like, gosh, I can't I can't say no to these gigs. That happens when a couple of things, and Rich could probably speak to this, but from an outsider's perspective, having followed along Rich for the last 15 years or whatever, is is that Rich is an amazing photographer. Rich is a photographer that I trust to shoot my family portraits. Hopefully that says something right there. And then Rich is a delight to work with. So not only is he an amazing photographer, but he's always going out of his way. He said the hero complex or the savior complex a minute ago. Rich is always going out of his way to help other people. So you can imagine if you're a wedding planner and you have Rich Coleman on your shoot, not only is your mind at ease that since you recommended this photographer to your customer, to your client, not only is he going to take amazing care of your customer and get them amazing pictures that they're proud of, that they're going to be so overjoyed. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for recommending that I hire Rich Coleman. Not only that, but Rich is going to go out of his way to make sure that you, as the wedding planner or the florist or the DJ or the venue, is going to have an amazing experience and get amazing images that you can use for your portfolios on your websites to sell your services. And then above and beyond that, Rich has also been a counselor like the whole day, pretty much
Mm-hmm.
coaching mother-in-laws and brides that are thinking things last minute. He's also stepped in and been the wedding planner when someone wasn't there to take control of the situation. He's also been the
I keep
florist and fixed stuff.
I keep catering gloves in my camera bag to cut wedding cake.
so Rich is the
And I'm
caterer, the
good at it.
florist, all these things. Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to say is that Rich, you're a delight to work with. So the problem is that maybe you're not even charging enough, even though you're charging $4,000 a wedding or whatever it is, like, which is a lot of money. Like, you're such a delight to work with. And when you look at the market rates, and if you're, slightly above market rates or near market rates, people are like, I would sure as heck rather have Rich, because I know that if he's there, he's going to help the wedding run smoothly, because Rich is MacGyver and he's going to help. So if you can become that thing, if you can become, the person that everyone wants to work with because you're helpful, because you care, because you give a darn, okay, like Rich does, then you too can create that problem. So first, Rich had to, learn the photography foundations, which is what we teach you in the photo mentorship. Okay, the domain name that's pulsing on your screen right now, thephotomentorship.com. So we can
.com.
teach you how to, become technically proficient, to be able to take the exact images that you see in your head and to be able to edit and organize your photos fast, just like Rich does.
And
Okay.
I'll say this just to talk. I mean, it's who sponsors this podcast and all the podcasts and sponsors my salary, but it's a place where you can actually learn something. There's a lot of promises out there in the world, but Lord, do I wish I had somebody that would help me not make all the same mistakes I did. Because that's what the
Yeah.
photo mentorship's great. And you can learn how to use a flash and a camera, but you can also learn from the experience of like, here's where I messed up here. Like, there's just so much knowledge and community within the group. That's why the group sings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you need to check out the photo mentorship, because if I had that, that would have been my problem a lot. I would have gotten to where I wanted a lot quicker and a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we created the photo mentorship, because it's what you and I wish that we had when we were starting
Yeah.
out, especially
You
the
can do
first
it
5 or 6
yourself. It's just going to
years.
take you
Yeah.
10 years or
Yeah.
15 years. Or you
Yeah.
can join the photo mentorship and get it all a
Yeah.
lot faster.
That's right. So if you've covered the foundations, if you take the photo mentorship, classes, and you learn how to become a proficient professional photographer from a skill perspective, and then you do what Rich did and become a joy to work with, both for us, our team at the photo mentorship, but also to the wedding vendors and the portrait vendors that you work with. Okay, then they're going to, of course, want to recommend him. So then now he has this problem of like, too many people want to hire Rich. Good problem to have. I see a ton of you guys saying that y'all wish y'all had had that problem, right? Well, step one is learn how to see like a photographer. Step two is learn how to shoot like a professional photographer, which is what you learn these things in the photo mentorship. Step three is learning how to edit to recreate the emotion that you felt when you're viewing the scene with your own eyes. That's step three.
Efficiently.
Step four is to specialize in whatever it is that your niche is that you want to pursue and specialize in. So portrait photographer, newborn photographer, landscape photography, macro photography, wedding photography, headshot photography, studio lighting photography, real estate photography. Those are all examples of specialties. Once you do that, then building relationships is such a huge part of being able to book gigs, get client referrals, get recommendations, and be a joy to work with, and have this problem of really like where Rich is now, where he needs to raise his prices, because too many people wants to hire Rich. So let's talk about pricing for a minute. All right. So there is market value, right? Like what other people, like the average of what photographers in your market are charging for that specific service. So if the average market value for a newborn photographer is, I'm going to round it up and say $500 to do a newborn photography session in the area of whatever, Dallas, Texas. Then that would be the average market value. That would be kind of like your standard rate. If you're too far below it, if you're only $100 for the session, when the average is 500, then people might be like, I don't know why.
Should I trust that?
Should I trust that? And if you're too expensive, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because there's a lot of people in the world that just want the best. But if you're $5,000 to shoot a newborn portrait session, then people might be like, especially if they don't know who you are, especially if you don't come highly recommended. Now there are people that like have this niche of like, I do the newborns in the sunflowers, and I style the shoot, and that's why I can charge $5,000 for a 1 hour, newborn portrait
Amen.
session. Right. And they're going to come highly recommended, and that's why they can charge so much. Okay, but it's for a lot of you guys, it's taking you guys maybe longer to get there or something like that. So let's talk about something. Let's look at what is the story, like the three little bears. I'm like, is it Red Riding Hood? Like, what's the story of like the soft, like
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks? I'm like, what story
Come
is it?
on. The
Sorry,
porridge
man.
is not too
Tell,
hot. Not
tell
too.
us this. Tell us the story of Goldilocks real quick.
Okay,
Do you
me?
remember it?
Wow. I'm just pulling it out of my kids' memories. So Goldilocks is walking in the woods, gets a little tired, sees a house, goes into the house, knocks on the door. There's nobody there. I almost feel like rapping this. I don't know why. Like
Mm, mm,
yeah,
mm.
that's not rap though. I was like techno, and I felt like taking my shirt off. So she goes in and she lays on a bed, and the first bed she lays on, that's way too hard. So she gets up and goes into the other bed. It's way too soft. And then she goes on the third bed, and it's just perfect. Not too hard, not too soft. She does the same thing with the soup, and the same thing with the types of toilet paper. Too soft, too sandpapery, and just perfect. So
Does
that's
she
the
really with
story.
the other things?
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
just I just remember the beds, like too hard, too
No, the
soft,
soup.
and
The
just right.
soup is too hot, too cold, too right.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's a lesson here. Okay, like too hard, too soft, just right. Too much, too little, just right. Okay, there's a lesson there. So when you go to Starbucks, which there's not a Starbucks really near me anymore, so it's interesting. I just actually there's a brand new organic cafe called Prima Cafe that just opened up between my house and my office, and it's awesome. Amazing fresh cold pressed juice, amazing coffee. I just got this
Ginger
there on
shots?
the
Do
way
they have
over.
ginger shots there?
They have ginger shots that are fresh and they're good, man. They have this new juice called the apple lemon ginger juice. Man, it's so amazing. Anyways, Prima Cafe, it's awesome. Check it out.
If you're in Florida.
It's like the chiropractor next door, and his wife. They have like a yoga studio, chiropractor, massage place. They also opened up a place right next door. It's called Prima Cafe. So on 30A in Seagrove. It's awesome. Anyways, um, Starbucks has, what are the sizes for Starbucks? Right? Do you guys remember? There is the small one, which funny enough is called tall. I'm sure there's some sales psychology there, but there's the tall, excuse me, there's the medium one, which is the grande, and then there is the venti, which is the large size. Okay, what do you think is their best selling size? What do you think, Rich?
The one that's not too small and not too big. The
Right.
one that's just right.
The one that's just grande, right?
Yeah, just grande.
Okay.
It's a grande.
So they have specifically positioned, like they don't want to sell the tall cup. They don't want to sell the venti cup. Their bread and butter is the grande size cup. Okay, and there's a lesson here. How
It's
many
this
of those
whole. It's
sizes
this
are
whole area grande. It's this whole area. Sorry.
there? Aria Grande, yep. Um, there's a lesson here. How many of the different sizes are there? Three. Okay, so three is a magic number when it comes to pricing in sales psychology. Okay, three prices. Okay, three sizes. Okay, it's a magic number. Notice how they don't have four. Notice how they don't have two sizes. Okay, they have three, and it's because of Goldilocks. It's also because of something else we'll call second in the price anchor and decoy effect. But basically, here's the thing. All right, there is the tall, which is not big enough. Okay, and there's the venti, which just seems too extreme. So people, by default, you price to the middle. By default, people are going to want to get the middle one because they don't want to feel excessive and get the venti. Like, oh, that's just for like people that are too flashy or whatever. All right, and then they don't want to be like, well, the tall is just not quite,
Tall
is
enough.
not quite tall enough. It's a tall order to drink. No, I'm just kidding, right? So, and it's one of those things where like there are three main sizes that they have: the tall, grande, and venti. Yes, they're like the short cup or whatever, but they don't like advertise those things. Okay, they're not like things that they readily put. Like all the prices, the main things are the tall, grande, and venti. Okay, because they're always pricing to the grande because a couple things. Like it is their most profitable drink. Like the venti usually has 4 shots, which takes twice as long and takes a lot more coffee to get into the venti cup. The grande only has 2 shots of espresso. Okay. And so therefore it's a better bang for their buck to make it. And they're getting 50 cents more, 20 cents more, whatever it is, the difference between the tall and the grande size. Okay. So their most profitable size of the cup is the grande. And interestingly enough, the cell psychology, that is their, not only is it their most profitable, it's also their best selling cup because they're pricing to the middle. They're pricing to that middle cup. Okay. So many photographers try to give away. They maybe only have one package, which isn't a horrible thing. One is a really great number two. Okay, it's either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, either book it or you don't.
But you have to know your market to be able to have one price. That's the thing. If you don't know your market, then it's gonna be hard to find out what items are gonna be the sexy point to them, the tipping point for them to book you as their portrait photographer, their real estate photographer, wedding photographer, whatever it is. And so the beauty of Starbucks is that they figured out psychologically we don't want the smallest and we don't want the fanciest largest one. Most people want the middle. Okay. And so they put what people want in the middle and they also price it to where that's their most profitable. So for instance, all right, if you were a wedding photographer, and this is what we used to do, this is what we learned the price anchor and the decoy. Okay, because the venti is the anchor, all right, and the tall is the decoy to push people to the middle of the grande. Okay, so the anchor is saying, like, you could spend this much, like on a venti, you could spend $5 on a venti, or you could spend $350 on a grande, or $280 for a tall. I don't remember what the prices are off the top of my head. Okay, I know I'm botching that. The point is that they're saying you could spend this much, but now this just like this dollar cheaper or whatever it is just sounds better, feels better. Okay, because you're not being excessive, you're not spending the most. Okay, but the decoy is the bottom one, which is not really enough. It's not really what you want. So it's kind of like, well, you could get that, but I just feel better about getting the one that's just right. The bed that's not too hard or too soft, but instead is just right. The drink that's not too big or too small, but just right. So for instance, if you were to do sales pricing for your photography packages, I recommend, and I learned this a long time ago from people that were smarter than me and also from the couple hundred business books that I read, is that you want to create an anchor, which is your most expensive price, and you want to create a decoy, which is your cheapest price, to push people strategically that are not too, like, you can do testing too to see where people land, but to push people to buy the middle package. So for instance, what is going to be the most profitable thing in the middle package for you? If you're a wedding photographer, let's talk about that for a second. Okay, let's say very simply, the 3 things that you have to offer is coverage, like showing up and shooting their wedding. Number 2 would be digital negatives, giving them all the photos, the high-res digital photos that are not watermarked. Okay, that would be another massive value. Okay, and then the third thing would be the album, where they get 50 pages of, flush mounted, amazing, amazingly beautifully designed album that feels like it's worth $10,000 that you can get from, Kiss Books for, $400 or something, and you upsell it to, whatever it is that you're upselling it to your clients for. Okay. Which, by the way, Kiss Books
is great.
Kiss is awesome. Sean Gordon over there. Kiss is amazing. Is their website just I think it's kiss.us, Kiss Us.
Is it? I think yeah, Kiss Us, and I think it's Kiss Books too. I'm looking up. Hold on.
Kiss Books. They're awesome, and they have an amazing album designer too. I'm not paid to say that. That's
Kiss Us. You're right. Kiss.us.
Kiss.us. Okay. They're
Kiss Us. We're not asking you to. We're telling you to.
Right. So go check them. Kiss.us. Let me do this real quick. I'll put that up on the screen just so you guys can see it.
The best books in the market.
Best
as somebody who's ordered a lot of
software, and they're awesome. Yeah, they're awesome. So
the best thing ever.
Yeah, Kiss to Us. It's kind of funny, but that's their album company. It's amazing. They make amazing quality books, and they have an amazing album that, like, you can upload your photos online and design the things and email like an example of what the design is going to look
Proof.
like
Oh
to
yeah,
your
their proofing
clients.
system's
Their
great. Yeah.
proofing is the best. We've been using it for years. It's awesome. But here's the thing. So you have three things, okay? You have yourself showing up and taking the pictures, okay? The second thing is the digital negatives, okay? Like giving them the rights to be able to print their images. And the third thing is to give them a sexy album, okay? Because at the end of the day, like, they should have that family heirloom, okay? So those are the three things that we have to work with here. So what do people really want? Well, they don't just want to have you shoot their photos and then not have anything to show for it. Like, if you didn't get the photos afterwards or get any prints or any albums, then, like, what's the point of having someone shoot your photos? So, for example, what Rich could do, Rich, is he could do this. He could have, if the average mark, like right now, he has a problem with shooting too many weddings. Okay, and if the average wedding price around his market is $3,000, $3,500, $4,000. I'm gonna say it's 4,000. Maybe it's a little bit lower that in your market. Is a little bit lower that the average in
Yeah,
your market?
like the four people that I would like to compare myself to are right there.
Well, how much? 4,000 for
Yeah,
shooting a
4,000.
wedding?
Hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna say 4,000 is the market value. Okay, because Rich is amazing and everyone loves working with Rich, and he's a delight to work with, and he's an incredible photographer. What he could do is have three packages. And now you're going to price the middle package to be exactly what people want. What do they want? They want Rich Coleman to show up, and they want the digital negatives. That's what they want.
Amen.
They want the digital negatives. And of course, they do really want a wedding album too, but they know and they're willing to pay more for that if they are going to get that. So here's how Rich could and should potentially price his things. $4,000 is the bottom package. It's like the tall, okay? And all he does is give away wedding coverage for 8 hours. Just throwing 8 hours out there, okay? I don't know if that's what it is. 8 hours wedding coverage. You don't get anything. You have to buy all of your prints or digital negatives a la carte after the fact, okay? Like, you don't get anything. You're just getting Rich to show up. So you don't get anything physically in your hands, all right? The next thing he could do, and depends on how big of a range you want this package, but you could either have the middle package at, let's say, 5,500 or 6,000 or maybe 5,000, depending on how much you're willing to do that. Okay, but as an example, if you priced the digital negatives at a $2,000 value, like, you get all 1,000 of the wedding photos that I'm gonna edit for you. I'm gonna shoot 3,000 photos at this wedding. I'm gonna edit them down to 1,000 good ones. And the 1,000 good ones is like their high res images that I'm gonna deliver to you on digital negatives. It's $2,000 if you wanna buy them a la carte. So we have a $4,000 coverage package, and we have $2,000 digital negatives. So if Rich included the digital negatives, which is what everyone wants, in his middle package, and he made it a better value in the middle package, like $5,000 total, or maybe $5,500 total. That's a good example. Okay,
Hmm. Or go
4,000
from
for
like
him to show up.
six to 8 hours too. Like you're getting those 2 extra hours for free. There's all kinds of incentives.
Yes, yeah, You could change the coverage in the middle package to where, like Rich is
It's
saying, it's a great
ideal.
example. The $4,000 package, you only get 6 hours of his coverage. The $5,500 package, which is $1,500 more, you get a $2,000 um, digital
Tangible
negative
download. Hmm.
down, like, of the credits, but you're getting it for only $1,500, and you're getting 2 extra hours of coverage. So it makes, for only $1,500 more, you're getting a crazy good discount on getting more of Rich's time and getting exactly what you want, which is the digital negatives, okay, for $5,500. But it's only $1,500 more. So it's already positioned as a good value, because the digital negatives by themselves would be $2,000. And 2 more hours of Rich's time is, let's say, $500 an hour. I don't know, just saying hypothetically, $500 an hour or something like that. So you're getting also 2 additional hours of coverage, like, included. So you're getting $3,000 of value for half the price at $1,500 when you put it into that middle package. So people can very clearly see $4,000 just for him to show up. And if I was to buy the digital negatives and 2 hours of his time, it would be another $3,000. But if I just choose the middle package, then I could get it all for $5,500 total. So it's a better deal, okay? And that's what everyone wants. They want full day coverage and they want the digital negatives, okay? And then the top package, which would be the price anchor, the most expensive one, you could add another $1,500 to that. So we'll say it's at $7,000. So $4,000 is coverage, $5,500 is longer coverage plus the digital negatives. And then $7,000 is all of that included, plus you get an album worth $4,000, with a 50-page album or something like that. Okay, but you're getting that album at a discount of it's only $1,500 for that album, and that's the top package. Now, what's going to happen is some people will buy that top package because they want everything and they want the album that's really important to them. But most people, if they can afford it, they'll get priced to that middle package because the $5,500, once you're already spending $4,000, it's a lot of money, but it's just a little bit more to get everything you want. Okay, because no one just wants coverage; they want to have images afterwards. Okay, so $4,000 is only coverage for 6 hours. $5,500 is 2 extra hours of coverage, so 8 hours total plus the digital negatives, and then $7,000 is another $1,500, but you also get all of that included, and you get the album. And then I've seen some people throw in like an engagement session in for free as well, like at that top package. Like we used to do that too. So it just depends on how aggressive you want to be to try to push people to buy that top package. You know what I mean? So anyways, the point is that Rich could price everything to where they get everything they want, which is a full day coverage and the digital negatives in that middle package, and decoy them from the bottom one and anchor them at, like, he charges up to $7,000 per wedding up here. So $5,500 sounds like a good deal, feels like a good deal, and it's everything that the clients want. Does that make sense?
I'm editing the website as we speak.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm doing a whole rebrand actually, just because I think I need to. Time to practice what I preach and be Rich Coleman photography. I think it's time.
There you go. I love it. Well, so you want to price, and so check out kiss.us. That's an amazing album design company. Album designer.
Are you asking me a question, or are you giving a website? Are you saying kiss us? Are you asking our students to kiss us, or what are you saying here?
I was saying I was just putting it up on the screen. Kiss.us is an amazing album designer, and they print albums. Like they're an album printing company. They do an amazing job. I know them very well. They're awesome.
He's a great guy. He drives a very good-looking 4Runner too, I will say.
He drives a 4Runner TRD Pro. But yeah, Sean is awesome. And
perfect color.
My other friend Kevin
it's the best colored.
What color is it?
4Runner. Man, it was like that bluish, greeny looking color. It was like, I looked at that car and was like, that's a sexy car.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it, man. I do like it. I love it. So yeah, Kiss.us is awesome. And if you're not a member of the Photo Mentorship, check it out. Okay, because we do what we do. We're able to do this podcast and give stuff away and all these things because of the Photo Mentorship. So come support us. Come take all of our courses or whatever courses you're interested in and all that stuff. We're going to give away. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that about the price anchor and decoy effect, the Goldilocks, not too hard, not too soft, just right pricing method. And then, also Starbucks. You think about those 3 examples of like how you can price to the middle to put everything that someone really wants in a price point that is profitable for you. Doesn't take up too much of your time, because by the way, designing an album takes more time. With Kiss.us, it makes it easier, but still it's more time, to design an album. So you need to make sure it's worth your time to design the album and to include that in a package. That's why you don't want to include the album in the bottom package, because it's going to become just a hassle. So anyways, yeah. So that's one of those things. Okay, so
Your hassle.
we're gonna hassle off. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna do the giveaway in just a second. But
Give away a camera battery.
real quick, we want to show you a preview of what the photo mentorship looks like. Sound
Watch
good?
it.
Alrighty. Well, check out thephotomentorship.com. It's awesome.
Dot
We love it.
com.
Rich, we have a new course coming out this weekend too, by the way, right? On Friday. We have
Yes.
Brandon's.
I was like, I thought you were talking about mine. I was like, I'm recording mine Thursday. I was like, oh gosh, please don't give me a one day turnaround.
No, we've got Brandon's pet photography course coming out this Friday. Brandon Chesborough's pet photography course coming out.
It's good. As somebody who watched it, it's cool because it's like studio inside. It's like inside with studio lights and outdoor. It's like you get all three.
That's awesome. I love that. So that's coming out real soon. We've got Rich's Speedlight Photography 201 course coming out really soon. Right?
I'm excited about that. Yeah, as soon as it gets edited. Yeah, I'm excited because the first one was well received.
Yeah,
I mean, and some of the best teaching you've ever seen.
Definitely, way better than my teaching.
False. I felt like Anakin Skywalker being trained by Obi-Wan. I grew up in not quite. Nah.
Not Qui-Gon.
Not Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon Jinn. It was Liam Neeson. That was a good casting choice, but Jar Jar ruined that for everybody.
Jar Jar did. It was definitely a jarring
experience. But David, let's give away a battery.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. All right.
Are you ready?
I'll drum. You have the winner.
You tell the winner.
Hey, real quick.
I was paradiddling on my chest.
Sorry, man. I thought it'd be fun to like share my screen for a second and kind of show back end of the photo mentorship for a little bit. All right. Ooh. So up here in this top right corner, you have credits. See where it says 34 credits. You can trade in those credits for preset packs over Chop. So if you go to the presets club, you get new credits every single month, and you can trade it in for any of these preset packs. So if you want the Stunning Food Collection, the Natural Light Collection, the Kindred Spirit Collection, if you want the Snowy Mountain Collection, or Rich's Favorite Portrait Presets Collection, or the Senior Portraits Collection, Wildlife Collection, you can trade in a credit for any of those packs. And every single, just for signing up for Photo Mentorship, you get bonus credits and you get new credits every single month inside there. And then as far as courses go, Rich, I wanted to show people, we've got all these different courses. Look at this one. Here's the Speedlight Photography 101 course right here. Speedlight Photography 101. That's Rich's first course that he has inside of the Photo Mentorship, and he's coming up with the Speedlight 201 course. But we've got the Shooting at Stunning Waterfalls, Landscape Photography, Studio Lighting, Natural Light Portraits, Master Your Camera course, Lightroom Classic. We've got all these different courses. You can stream all of these inside the Photo Mentorship included
anytime.
Membership. Anytime, at your own pace. And then if you want to ask an expert, well, you just click this button and you talk directly to us and ask us a question.
Ask them a question right now. That'd just be fun to watch. Just like a really to where Autumn would know it was me.
Yeah, where do babies come from? Something like that. No, but the Photo Mentorship is awesome. We recommend that you start out with the Master Your Camera course because it teaches you how to use your camera and to achieve the results that you see in your head. So it's really awesome. But anyways, that's the Photo Mentorship. You get to stream unlimited access to all of the courses that we have. And keep in mind, we're adding new courses all the time. You've got all these currently available. And we also have, remember I was talking about the How I Got the Shot episodes?
Higgets.
We also have it's How I Got the Shot episodes. We have new ones coming out. We have Rich's recent one where he had, shooting food photography at a restaurant. We have a bunch of others like shooting families and shooting book covers, and then I've got this headshot one coming out very soon. So they're kind of
And
more, they're like,
the how to show them the camera, man. I'm pretty sure I reviewed or showed you how to turn on and where every button is on all those cameras. Like that was a
in,
daunting task.
inside the mini tutorials, we have like a camera walkthrough for like most types of cameras, so that Rich has like done a demonstration of here's where all the buttons and here's all the things go to your specific camera. So whatever camera you have, and we're adding more all the time. So the photo mentorship, honestly, it's really amazing. It's what I wish that it had, because you can have experts answer any questions that you have. You can stream unlimited access to the courses. So whether or not you want to learn how to be a professional portrait photographer or a landscape photographer, we have wedding photography courses coming out in the near future. Not yet, but they're coming. And just all this, and editing and retouching. We have a whole professional retouching track. So we've got all that stuff inside the photo mentorship.
And our customer, like the customer service people, know cameras. It's not like we're like, hey, we just need somebody that can help people log into email. No,
right.
The people helping you are photographers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a photographer reminding you how to reset your password.
Yep, exactly. It's awesome. So, all right, well, let's do this giveaway. So go check out the photo mentorship. Kavita's saying she loves TPM great courses, but only one I won't be doing for sure is the pet photography one, because she's scared of dogs. Love it.
There's cats. There's cats in there.
You know what I didn't even mention, Rich, is that we do TPM lives.
What are we doing?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like tomorrow, David. Tomorrow is like a discussion with you to where people can interact with their favorite David Molnar.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday we're doing boot camp week 3.
Yep.
Or 2.
And then basics with Brandon. It's actually week 3. And then basics with Brandon is going to be on Thursday. So you can always do these things and get links directly to the events that are coming up.
We go live 3 to 5 times a week, their own separate shows. And David.
Yep. We archive all these.
Yeah, and there's 3 new shows coming out that you don't even know about yet.
Really? What is that?
We're doing one called Roundtable with Rich, where it's going to be me live with a couple students, and we're going to talk about it in security and talk about it as a group. And it's going to be, people are going to be able to watch it, like me interact with a couple of our students, or we're going to talk about how to price, or it's going to be cool because it's going to be not just me talking to a camera. It's going to be me in a Skype room or something with students that is viewable. So Roundtable with Rich is going to be exciting.
That's going to be coming up. That's awesome. Well, I didn't even know about that. That sounds great.
It's in development, but it's going to be great. Story time, that's new. That's getting a logo because it went so well. We're going to do story time with David, with Rich, with Brandon. So there's a lot of different story time. Or a show called Framed. You'll like this one. A show called Framed is like just thinking about the shot. Like a whole show designed about what are you trying to say in this picture? Like, what do you want to say? Like like anybody can take a snapshot. My grandma can take a snapshot. She's dead. But if I want to tell a story with my photos, there's some work and thought in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Sorry to make you laugh. I mean,
no, I love it.
I loved my name. That's where my son got his blue eyes.
Well, what I was going to show them real quick is that every single episode that we do, when we do stream live inside the photo mentorship, we archive them all so that you can. That's probably actually our biggest library. You can go back and watch all these different live episodes that we do. So they're like the podcast, but they're on steroids because we're actually doing training. Like a podcast is a conversation. It's awesome. We're having conversations and talking about, important things. But when we go live in the group, we're actually editing photos for you in real time. Sometimes we edit students' photos, and we're doing trainings on here's how you set up lights, here's how you do, this thing. So we're doing those things and answering your questions in real time. So all of those episodes are archived as well, so that you can go back and rewatch them whenever the flip you want. But it's giveaway time. What do you think? Ready?
I love it. My chest hurts from doing all the beating it so much.
You're the winner. I don't know who it is yet.
Okay, she did message us both because
I know, but I haven't looked. I've been talking on the air. Go for it.
The winner is Ashley Chepnick. Ashley, message us and let us know what kind of camera you have.
What kind of battery we can send you.
Because I would hate to send you like a Canon battery and you're a Sony shooter. That would do
Hmm.
no good unless you're me. I've done some funny stuff with camera batteries, David.
Ashley Chapnick. Ashley Chapnick. You're the winner of a free camera battery for your
Chapnick.
specific brand. So, hey, you guys are awesome. Have a fantastic day. We love y'all. We'll see y'all in the photo mentorship live. I'll be live on Wednesday and Thursday this week. And yeah, otherwise, we'll see you next week on the podcast. Love you guys. Go check out thephotomentorship.com.
See ya.
See
I
you
love
later.
you. I love you.
See you. See you later.